So is more homemade junk, right? So I've been just this weekend sort of playing around with foot tambourine on the left and stomp boxes. I've made various stomp boxes with, you buy them on eBay. These you buy that there, the headphone jack, sort of 6.5 audio jack, and you buy these piezo things. They're basically rubbish, because what happens is, I'll show you. So this is like, you get these sort of, I'm in the UK, you buy these sort of boxes from Rainbow Bookshop, for instance. It's full of colouring pens, or so it's just one of those wooden box. I cut it in half to make it smaller because it was all the way out here, and I did that very thing that I was on about. There's your piezo things that I've just sellotaped them on, sort of thing. You buy them from eBay, they're really cheap. You solder them onto this thing that I made, put into the end like that. Your 6.5 audio jack goes in there. You create bang 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 on there, and the vibrations causes a thing on there. I ain't even gonna bother showing you. It's almost like it's rubbish, right? But so I got this little microphone. I thought, well, what if I just chuck a little microphone? So this is like a vintage, like a dictaphone microphone. So I thought, well, what if I just chuck that in there? So I velcroed it down, look, because you don't want it to be creating any banging noises. And also sort of doing a bit of research, these people, because what do you buy? Loads of them, they're making stomp boxes on eBay, and a stomp box without any, well, some of them are like £500. A stomp box without any amplification or any digital input, they would have a woody type effect, but and if you're playing acoustic guitar quite quietly, it would sound really nice. But if you want it to be quite loud, so what I've done here is I sort of thought, hold on a minute, why don't I try getting, so through the Spark Go, and I've chosen, see on here, bass driver. So because someone on eBay said, well, a lot of it is to do with the amplifier that you're playing it through, and he said he uses a graphics pedal. So I thought, wow, well, let's give this a go. I've been looking at these pedals. I don't know how to pronounce it. MEINL or something like that. They make drums, percussive things. They got one which is digital. So it's digital, which means it needs to take power, 9-volt, or it needs plugging in, or it needs battery. Then it needs the amplification, and the pedal itself is already £120, right? Now, I'm the sort of person, I like to be able to just crack some out of a bag without any power sockets. You're kind of making magic out of nothing here. This here, I bought this second hand on eBay, so I got it quite cheap. And check that. So I don't know what volume that's at. A lot of this also, and a lot of this has to do with what sort of footwear you might be using. Well, a lot of people wear like a old wooden, not a wooden shoe, but a shoe that has like almost like a wooden So already to me that is a lot louder than, so, and this is without me even messing around with various different types of shoes. Yeah. You see, you can hear that echo. So the pedal effect through the Spark Go has already got some, maybe some wah, or whatever you call it, wah on it or something. So you go in there. Got the bass turned all the way up. There's some sort of drive. I don't know what comp wah is, but let's, like an echo. See, already I'm getting something more like what I'm looking at buying anyway. So I don't know what this is. So just then, just doing that. Just boosted it already. Delay and reverb. Let's have a little back on, off. Can you tell the difference? Off, on. Can you hear that? Almost like a Hall effect. I think I'll just turn that off. I've turned some off. See, already I'm getting some stuff off of this. But the piezo, that you don't get nothing from that. You don't get much. That's my opinion anyway. Vintage delay. Can you hear that? Not that you'd want that. Repeat beat, you don't want that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. So I've got the treble turned all the way down, volume turned up there. Don't know what that is. What's that? Drive, the drive's on. See, a lot of it is to do with. See, also, I just want something like if you watch Jason Ritchie videos, you'll hear him. He's got a good something going on, a good foot tap or something going on. Let's take the noise gate down. Let's turn the See, so what I'm already thinking. There you go. So a lot of it might depend upon whereabouts you're doing it. footwear. Also, maybe having something even attached to the shoe. Like these shoes have a rubber sole. So this is going to be fun. I'm gonna stick with this theory before I go spending money on a digital pedal, which is going to need a power supply, and it's not going to work, you know, acoustically. Also, something that I'm going to look at is what type of wood. So let me know if you have an answer for this. Like this right now is rubbish plywood. Rubbish. What type of wood would be better for this to create a kick drum effect? Any feedback? Now, if I turn this off, let's see if it makes any difference to the hearer on YouTube. Turn that down. No. Turn off the gain knob. See, there's that's just this wood with nothing else, right? Let's turn that up. Turn up the volume. There you go. Right, that's that one. Right, so let's also before I end this video, let's see what this pig nose can do. See, I'm not getting much out of that. Maybe. So almost like a subtle. See, if I turn all that down, that's the wood. Bare wood. Turn that up. Bit of tone. There is something there. Let's turn all the way up. Get a bit of squeal in there. Hear that? That's with everything turned all the way up. So I'm going to continue to experiment. Let me know if you've got any thoughts. But from my findings, buying any sort of stomp box which kind of says that it's homemade with these things, I don't know, I wouldn't bother, because you might be led into thinking that it's the answer to what you want, but then within minutes what you're going to find out is you need something like this or better. They do say bass amps are better, hence the reason why that didn't sound too bad, because I've got this. Oh, whatever, it changed at some point. I did have it on. Anyway, you did hear it when I had it on. Maybe it's because I've disconnected it. Yeah, I had it on a bass. Setting. Yeah, it was on Bass Driver when I first started it, because they're the pedals that I was messing around with. There you go. So the other reason, I guess, making this video is because the other day I went on YouTube and I said, you know, Stomp Box and Positive Grid Spark Go, and nothing came up. So either nobody's done this or they just haven't made a video about it yet. So there you go. With the Positive Spark Grid, you heard it. I'm going to go and have a look at this video to see whether you can actually hear it. But if I'm able to hear what I heard here in this room, then it's a good little goer. It was a bit of fun. There you go, worth a try.